Picture this: a small town, a seemingly devoted mother, a daughter with a hidden truth, and a web of deception that not only fooled a community, but sent shockwaves through the nation. Buckle up as we dive headfirst into the bewildering maze that is the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case, a narrative so surreal it'll leave you questioning the very fabric of reality. In the peculiar theater of life, Gypsy Rose Blanchard took center stage, unwittingly cast as the tragic heroine in an unconventional family drama. Raised under the watchful eye of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, Gypsy's existence unfolded like a surreal performance. Dee Dee painted a portrait of Gypsy as a frail and ailing girl, orchestrating a bizarre narrative of constant illnesses and wheelchair-bound vulnerability. However, behind this carefully constructed facade lurked a clandestine truth that would shatter the illusion. Gypsy, like a captive in her own story, hatched a daring plan to escape the stifling role scripted for her. The unraveling of secrets and the shocking climax that ensued turned Gypsy Rose Blanchard into a modern-day protagonist, her life a chilling exploration of the thin line between reality and the twisted fantasies we craft to survive. Prepare to be captivated by the riveting enigma that is the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case. In a small town's seemingly idyllic facade, a tangled web of deception unfolds, leaving the community dumbfounded and viewers on the edge of their seats. Gypsy, a young woman with a life scripted by her own mother, Dee Dee, embarks on a journey that defies belief and challenges the very essence of truth. As we peel back the layers, witness a startling tale of feigned illnesses, fabricated identities, and a chilling escape plan that culminates in a shocking act. This is not your typical true crime narrative. It's a roller coaster of emotions, a perplexing puzzle where reality and illusion collide. Like, subscribe and brace yourself for an exploration into the depths of human psychology, as Gypsy Rose Blanchard's story unfolds with more twists and turns than a psychological thriller. In the whimsical tapestry of Gypsy Rose Blanchard's early life, reality and illusion danced an unsettling duet. Born into a world where make-believe ailments were as routine as breakfast, Gypsy's childhood unfolded within the confines of a peculiar stage. Her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, held the director's baton, orchestrating a spectacle of perpetual sickness that painted Gypsy as a fragile protagonist. Wrapped in the trappings of compassion, Gypsy's world revolved around wheelchairs and hospital corridors rather than playgrounds and schoolyards. The outside world saw a picture-perfect mother-daughter duo, but behind closed doors, Dee Dee's artistry and deception unfolded. Gypsy's innocence metamorphosed into a precarious performance, where every ache and pain was a carefully rehearsed line in a tragic play. Dee Dee's mastery of the charade not only confined Gypsy to a wheelchair, but also cast shadows over her ability to distinguish reality from the elaborate fiction of her upbringing. As we peer into the early chapters of Gypsy's life, we encounter a surreal landscape where the boundaries between truth and deception were blurred, laying the groundwork for the astonishing events that would later transpire. In the peculiar realm of Gypsy Rose Blanchard's childhood, her mother Dee Dee wielded a deceptive brush, painting a portrait of perpetual illness. This wasn't just a story, it was a meticulously crafted illusion, a spectrum of feigned maladies and false emergencies. Dee Dee, the puppeteer of this morose masquerade, spun a yarn that cast Gypsy as a tragically frail figure, a delicate flower in constant need of medical nurture. The sick child narrative unfolded like a surreptitious ballet, with Dee Dee choreographing each doctor's visit and hospital stay as if they were carefully rehearsed dance steps. Gypsy, ensnared in the performance, found her identity eclipsed by a role defined by fabricated symptoms and phantom ailments. The twisted artistry of this maternal deception not only confined Gypsy to a life of pretense, but also set the stage for the chilling events that would later shatter the illusion and reveal the true tragedy beneath the painted veneer. In the dark corridors of deception, Gypsy Rose Blanchard stumbled upon the harsh glare of truth. The realization, like a sudden burst of sunlight, shattered the illusions that had confined her for years. A burgeoning skepticism sprouted in Gypsy's mind, fueled by the incongruities between her supposed ailments and the vitality she felt within. As she peeked behind the curtain of her own existence, the tangled web of lies unraveled. The revelation of her real age became a catalyst, a Pandora's box of questions that demanded answers. Gypsy, once a pawn in her mother's intricate game, emerged as an unwitting detective in her quest for self-discovery, ripping away the layers of deceit to confront the stark realities she had long been shielded from. In the twilight of her orchestrated existence, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, like a caged bird, began plotting a daring escape from the gilded cage of her mother's manipulation. Fueled by a newfound awareness and a thirst for freedom, Gypsy ventured into the uncharted territory of rebellion. The digital realm became her surreptitious ally, a virtual rendezvous with a kindred spirit named Nicholas Godejohn. Through secret online exchanges, Gypsy and Nicholas forged a connection that transcended the confines of her constrained reality. Their escape plan took shape like a clandestine ballet, choreographed in hushed messages and coded language. Gypsy, once a pawn in her mother's grand performance, became the orchestrator of her own liberation. The duo hatched a daring scheme, blending desperation with determination, culminating in a rendezvous that would not only sever the puppet strings, but also thrust Gypsy into the harsh spotlight of a reality she had long evaded. As the escape plan unfolded, Gypsy's metamorphosis from captive to architect marked the beginning of a chapter where she would confront the consequences of her emancipation. The quietude of the quaint town was shattered when the news of Dee Dee Blanchard's demise echoed like a dissonant chord through its once tranquil streets. The revelation of her murder unfurled like an unwelcome guest, exposing the underbelly of the seemingly idyllic mother-daughter duo. Gypsy Rose, once confined to the role of a supposed ailing daughter, now found herself entangled in a sinister plot that had escalated into a gruesome reality. As investigators examined the crime scene, the town grappled with the stark contrast between the facade of maternal devotion and the harsh truth of a life cut short. The community's collective gasp resonated with a somber acknowledgement that the carefully crafted illusions had dissolved, leaving behind a tableau of betrayal and tragedy. In this unforeseen twist, Gypsy's escape plan morphed into a nightmarish saga that left the town reeling and questioning the very foundations of the Blanchard family's facade. Gypsy Rose Blanchard, once ensnared in the web of her mother's manipulations, faced a stark reversal of fortune as the cuffs closed around her wrists. The legal aftermath of Dee Dee's murder propelled Gypsy into a judicial battleground where the theater of her life took an unforeseen turn. The courtroom became the harsh arena for a drama that unfolded like a raw expose of deception and survival. As Gypsy navigated the legal labyrinth, her defense sought to untangle the knots of her tumultuous upbringing, presenting a case that blurred the lines between guilt and victimhood. The guilty plea, a haunting echo in the courtroom, signaled a decisive moment in the tragic tale, leaving observers grappling with the complexities of accountability. The subsequent sentencing cast a long shadow over Gypsy's future, marking the poignant end of one chapter and the ominous beginning of another, fraught with consequences and questions about justice in the face of a fractured reality. Scrutinizing the psychological puzzle embedded in the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case unveils a disturbing examination of Munchausen syndrome by proxy. This behavioral aberration, an aberrant manifestation of maternal deceit, sees a caregiver fabricating or inducing illnesses in a dependent, adopting the guise of a nurturing savior. Within Gypsy's harrowing experience, Dee Dee Blanchard's manipulations surpassed conventional parental concerns, evolving into a twisted dynamic of control and subjugation. The analysis delves into the obscure motivations and convoluted mechanisms propelling Dee Dee's actions, shedding light on the murky intersection between caregiver and antagonist. The exploration of Munchausen syndrome by proxy in this context serves as a revealing lens into the complexities of maternal pathology, prompting contemplation of the human capacity for deception within the ostensibly sacred parent-child relationship. The Gypsy Rose Blanchard case unfurls a tapestry of ethical quandaries that test the boundaries of societal morality. Questions emerge like shadows. Where does sympathy for a manipulated child end and accountability for a heinous crime begin? The blurred line between victim and perpetrator prompts a reflection on the nuances of justice. Society grapples with conflicting emotions, torn between condemning the criminal act and empathizing with a young woman who emerged from a twisted web of deception. The case unravels the threads of ethical dilemmas, forcing us to confront the uncomfortable reality that compassion, culpability, and justice are not always clear-cut, leaving us to grapple with the uneasy questions that linger at the intersection of empathy and moral accountability. The Gypsy Rose Blanchard case has become a haunting spectacle in the realm of media portrayal, leaving its mark on pop culture. Documentaries like Mommy Dead and Dearest and the Hulu series The Act have thrust the case into the public eye, transforming it into a cautionary tale for a captivated audience. The dramatization of Gypsy's tumultuous life has given rise to a complex tapestry of reactions. Social media platforms buzz with discussions, spawning a virtual forum for armchair detectives and armchair psychologists alike. Gypsy's evolving public image, from victim to perpetrator, unfolds in the digital sphere, echoing the shifting tides of public opinion. The media's lens has not only magnified the intricacies of the case, but also illuminated the ethical considerations surrounding its coverage. The dichotomy of sensationalism versus informative reporting raises questions about the responsibility of media in portraying such delicate narratives. As Gypsy's story infiltrates the collective consciousness, the case's pop culture impact reverberates, transcending its true crime origins to become a mirror reflecting society's fascination with the blurred boundaries of victimhood and culpability. In the perplexing puzzle of the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case, we witnessed a staged reality crumble. Gypsy, entrapped in her mother's web of deceit, orchestrated a daring escape that ended in a shocking crime. The aftermath saw legal battles, a guilty plea, and a fractured community grappling with the complexities of victimhood and accountability. The media's lens transformed Gypsy from a supposed victim into a figure of intrigue, sparking a cultural conversation about the ethical boundaries of storytelling. As we recap this riveting tale, we confront not just the events, but the profound questions it raises about manipulation, justice, and the elusive quest for truth in a story veiled in deception. As the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case remains etched in our collective awareness, its lingering impact reverberates with unanswered questions. The narrative's resonance extends beyond the courtroom, intertwining with societal reflections on manipulation, justice, and morality. Gypsy, once a central figure in this tangled web of deception, is set to be paroled on December 28, 2023, adding a new chapter to her tumultuous journey. The case serves as a poignant reminder that closure doesn't always bring clarity, leaving us to grapple with the aftermath and perpetual quest for truth within the intricate folds of a narrative veiled in deception. As we unravel the layers of the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case, it becomes evident that comprehending the intricacies of her past is paramount for a profound analysis. The backdrop of Gypsy's upbringing and the facade of maternal care created by D.D. Blanchard lay the foundation for a story that transcends the confines of true crime. Understanding the dynamics at play sheds light on the blurred lines between victim and perpetrator, forcing us to confront the complexities of human behavior. Before we conclude, remember to share your thoughts in the comments below. What aspects of Gypsy's story resonate with you? And don't forget to subscribe so you stay informed about our future explorations into the intriguing realms of true crime. Until next time, keep questioning, keep searching, and stay curious. Together, let's uncover the secrets hidden in the shadows.